warm greeting to you all. Today I am going to talk about solid state fermentation. Fermentation is one of the oldest scientific domains which has evolved, refined and been diversified over the centuries. Fermentation processes are mainly classified as either solid state fermentation or submerged culture. Solid state fermentation differs from submerged fermentation with respect to flowing water, which is present in submerged fermentation, while it is absent or very minor in solid state fermentation. In this video, I am going to discuss various aspects of solid state fermentation. The growth of microorganisms on moist solid substrate particles in the absence or minimum water between the particles is known as solid state fermentation. The moisture content of solid substrate ranges between 12 to 80%. Solid state fermentations are usually used for the fermentation of agricultural products or foods. Some food fermentations involving solid state fermentation are wheat by Aspergillus, soybean by Rhizopus, soybean by Aspergillus, etc. During solid state fermentation, the substrate may require preparation or pre-treatment like chopping, grinding, reduced particle size, cooking or chemical hydrolysis, pasteurization or sterilization can reduce the contaminants. Usually a filamentous fungus requiring aerobic condition is used and the inoculum is mixed into substrate for fermentation. The origin of solid state fermentation can be traced back to bread making process in ancient Egypt. Solid state fermentation processes are those microbiological processes in which growth and product formation takes place on and inside the humidified solid substrate. In this case, processes occur in the absence or near absence of free water. There are 4 interacting phases present in such processes, which include a gas phase, a solid insoluble support, a liquid phase containing dissolved substrates and products, and a biotic phase formed by the microorganisms. Fundamentally, 6 different types of solid state fermenters are commonly used, which include first tray type, second rotary drum type, third packed bed, fourth swing solid state, stirred vessels, and the last but not the least air solid fluidized bed reactor. Further, based on mixing and aeration, solid state fermentation has been divided into the following 4 groups. Group 1, the bed is static or mixed occasionally. Air is circulated around the bed. Group 2, bed is static or mixed occasionally, where air is passed forcefully through the bed. Group 3, where bed is continuously mixed and air is circulated around the bed. And group 4, bed is agitated, air is passed forcefully through the bed. Based on the type of solid substrate used, solid state fermentation systems have been divided into 1. Those employing natural material as solid substrate. 2. Those employing inert support impregnated with liquid medium. Different agro-industrial wastes such as cassava, bagasse, sugarcane bagasse, sugar beet pulp or husk, orange bagasse, oil cakes, wheat bran, coir pith, coffee pulp or husk, okra, etc. are used as natural solid substrates, selection of which depends on some physical parameters such as particle size, moisture level, intraparticle spacing and nutrient composition within the substrate. Now we will talk about the factors affecting solid state fermentation. Solid state fermentation needs close process parameters monitoring and control, which is very difficult practically. There are various factors which affect the performance of solid state fermentation processes, some of which include biological factors. These influences the behavior of the microbial species used in solid state fermentation. Selection of a suitable strain is one of the most important criteria in solid state fermentation. Next comes the selection of substrate to be used, which depends on the factors related to cost as well as availability of the substrate. Then comes the inoculum size, and the size of the inoculum determines the biomass production. Too low or too high concentration of inoculum is often undesirable and does not give the expected outcome. The second factor is moisture and water activity. As compared to submerged fermentation, the low moisture content becomes limiting for the growth and metabolism of microbes in solid state. Water activity is a useful parameter which is frequently used during the solid state fermentation to characterize the energetic state of water. Quantitative studies of water relations in solid state fermentation have suggested that microbial activity is strongly influenced by water activity of substrates, and it determines the type of organism that can grow on given substrate during solid state fermentation. And the microbial metabolic production and excretion could be modified by controlling this parameter. The third factor is temperature and heat transfer. Temperature and heat transfer processes in substrate bed has also been reported to greatly influence the microbial growth and metabolite production during solid state fermentation. A large amount of heat is generated due to the metabolic activities of microbes, and since the substrates used during solid state fermentation have low thermal conductivities, heat removal is decreased, resulting in accumulation of heat within the system. Therefore, heat removal to maintain the optimal temperature for growth and metabolite production by microbes become the key issue during solid state processes. Additionally, moisture also needs to be controlled. Thus, coupled control of moisture and temperature becomes an important issue for consideration during solid state fermentation. The fourth factor is off-gas analysis. Measuring a microbial biomass and growth kinetics during solid state fermentation is another major challenge, and hence it might affect the repeatability and reproducibility of results. However, this could be addressed by establishing a correlation with CO2 production, which correlates well with microbial metabolism, and even low physiological activity could be indicated by this method. The fifth factor is mass transfer. Solid state fermentation rate and efficiency is strongly affected by mass transfer limitations. Mass transfer in solid state fermentation involves micro-scale phenomena. This depends on inter and intraparticle O2 and CO2 diffusion, enzyme nutrient absorption and metabolite formation. B. Micro-scale phenomena. This depends on airflow, which includes inflow as well as outflow, substrate type, design of bioreactor, substrate mixing, interparticle space, variation in particle size, and microbes used. Therefore, maximum mass transfer process, the optimally designed solid state fermentation bioreactors should be selected. Now, we will talk about the application of solid state fermentation. Previously, solid state fermentation process was famous for low volume, high cost products due to critical technical problems associated with heat and mass transfer for large capacity. But with advancement in solid state fermentation technology, this process is inclining towards high volume, high cost products. Solid state fermentation has been successfully applied in various industrial processes where submerged fermentation proved to be challenging. Some of the industrial processes where solid state fermentation has successfully been applied includes: first, enzyme production. This is one of the most important applications of solid state fermentation. Some of the advantages of solid state fermentation over submerged fermentation for enzyme production include high yield and volumetric productivities, along with low cost and lesser waste generation. Some of the reported enzymes produced through solid state fermentation are protease, lipase, cellulase, pectinase, phytase, glutaminase, amylase, ligninase, xylenase, etc. The second application is organic acid production. Some of the organic acid produced via solid state fermentation includes lactic acid and gallic acid. The third application is secondary metabolite production. There are various secondary metabolites which have been produced using solid state fermentation. Some of those products include gibberellic acid, aroma production, antibiotics, etc. Fourth application is polygamma glutamate production. Fifth one is polyunsaturated fatty acid production. Next one is biocontrol agent production. With this, we'll move on to the next topic, which is advantages of solid state fermentation. Solid state fermentation has several advantages which makes it an attractive technology to be used for production of the earlier mentioned industrially important products. Some of these advantages include high product title, low capital and recurring expenditure, low wastewater production, reduced energy requirement, absence of foaming problem, simple and highly reproducible technology, simpler fermentation media, less space requirement, easier aeration, economic to use even at smaller scale, lower cost of downstream processing, etc. With this, I would like to conclude my introductory talk on types of fermentation. I hope you will get benefited from this talk. Thank you.